Welcome to the Intermediate Vivien tutorial series. This series concentrates on Vivien's more advanced features and assumes that you've either watched the basic video tutorial series or that you are already familiar with the basics of the software. In this tutorial, we will go beyond the basics of creating venues from one of Vivien's predefined options. Using these may be fine for some events or when you want to simply throw some ideas together, but venues are rarely as simple as those. This is when Vivien's import floor plan and room builder features come in very handy, as they make it quite easy to create almost any event space. These two features definitely complement each other, but they can also be used independently. Import floor plan allows you to import an image or PDF of a venue diagram into the drawing wireframe's background, which can serve as a visual reference for the room builder tool. This tool may then be used to trace over the imported image and automatically create a 3D model of the venue. There are three important things to keep in mind about the images or PDFs that you import with this tool. First, they must be drawn to scale. For example, a 50-foot wide and 100-foot wide hall have to be represented by lines of different but correctly proportional lengths. In other words, a picture of a sketch on a napkin will not work. Second, you must know at least one horizontal or vertical dimension in the diagram, such as the exact length of a wall, because without this information, it will be impossible for Vivien to scale the diagram correctly, and therefore the size of the venue that you will draw later will be incorrect. And third, the higher the resolution of the image or PDF file that you import, the better and more accurate the eventual venue will be. You should also know the height of the venue, as this will be required when using Room Builder. Let's create a new blank file. Click the File menu and select Import Floor Plan to start the floor plan importing wizard. Click the Browse button. Navigate to the location where the floor plan image or PDF file is stored. Select it. Click Open and then click Next. A preview of the diagram appears. Should you wish or need to rotate it, do so by selecting the appropriate angle from the Angle of Rotation drop-down, and then click Next. You must now choose the location in the image which will be aligned with the coordinate on the drawing. This is known as the image anchor point. Choose one of the predefined anchor points or click the Zoom drop-down. Select a zoom level, scroll to the preferred location in the image, select Custom from the Anchor drop-down, and then click to define the location. As you can see, for my image here, I selected the middle of the lower edge of the stage as my anchor point. Click Next. In the Insertion Base Point step, you are asked to define the previously mentioned coordinate at which the image anchor point will be placed. In most cases, you will use the document origin, so leave the 000 option selected and click Next. You are now asked to specify the scale of the floor plan, which will require you to trace a virtual dimension line on top of a known dimension. Using Ortho is highly recommended here, so click to check the Ortho X and Ortho Y options, and then click Next. The floor plan importing wizard disappears and the drawing wireframe now shows the imported diagram, or at least part of it. In order to increase accuracy, zoom in as much as possible to one end of the line for which you know the dimension, and then click in the appropriate location. The line from the image will grow quite large, and the best thing to do is to click in the middle. Zoom back out, pan the drawing wireframe if necessary, and then zoom in to the other end of the line with the known dimension. Note how a virtual dimension line follows the cursor as you move your mouse around. Click the middle of the line again to set the endpoint of the virtual dimension line. The floor plan importing wizard returns and asks you to enter the dimension that you just defined, which, again, you must know to scale the floor plan image correctly. Otherwise, anything more that you do from here on will result in a model with incorrect dimensions. Enter the dimension, click Next, and then click Finish. Once you zoom out, the image or PDF that you selected appears in the drawing wireframe's plan view, based on the parameters you just defined in the Import Floor Plan wizard. As mentioned earlier, the imported floor plan exists only in the plan view's background, and therefore it cannot be seen in any other wireframe or in the virtual view, as you will note by switching to quad view. Let's switch back to Drawing Wireframe, where we will soon activate the Room Builder tool. Before doing this, since Room Builder does not automatically create a venue layer, we will create it ourselves and make it current. Room Builder works by tracing lines over the imported image, and since some of the walls in the diagram are parallel to the X and Y axes, enabling ortho for both will ensure that the walls are drawn straight. Next, access the Draw menu and click Room Builder. While nothing actually happens on screen, Vivien's prompt line instructs you to select the first corner of the venue. Zoom in once again to increase accuracy, and click a corner to start drawing. Zoom out, pan the drawing wireframe if required, zoom back in, and click again once you've positioned the cursor at the next corner. Repeat these actions until you've gone around the venue, but do not click again the corner at which you started. If you need to draw a wall that is not parallel to either axis, disable ortho before clicking that wall's endpoint, then re-enable it as needed before the next click. In case you make a mistake and click an incorrect location, right-click, select Remove Last Step, and then click the correct location. Once you've clicked the last corner of the venue, right-click and select Finish Room Outline. The Room Builder dialog appears, where you will enter the venue's various parameters. Start by entering the height and thickness of its walls. If you do not know the thickness, the default of 6 inches is fine in most cases. Leave the Show Hatch Lines option enabled, as this will allow you to clearly see the walls of the venue in plan view. There is usually no reason to uncheck the Group Walls After Creation option. If you do so, but then later wish to move the venue object, you will not be able to simply click on a wall and have the entire venue become selected. Since this event space is enclosed by walls on all sides, but we didn't actually draw the last wall, click to check the Close Room Outline option, so that wall can be created automatically. Finally, click to check the Add Floor and Add Ceiling options in order for Room Builder to create these along with the venue. Once you are satisfied with the parameters you've entered, click OK to create the venue. If needed, zoom out to see the entire venue object in plan view, or switch to Drawing Quad to see the object from different angles at once, or to interact with its 3D model in the Virtual View pane. Note that depending on where you define the anchor and base point, you may need to dolly the camera in order to see the entire model. Once you are satisfied with the venue, before proceeding to customize it, it's recommended that you hide the imported floor plan, in order for it not to interfere with further drawing. To do so, simply right-click and select Hide Floor Plan. If you need to see it again, right-click once more and select Show Floor Plan. From here, you may proceed to add other elements to the venue, customize its appearance, and design your event within. Don't forget to save the file before you close it. Thank you for watching.